Listening to the Not So Christian in Me show, starring Southern Girl.
Hello. Welcome to the Not So Christian in Me show. I'm your host, Southern Girl Denise, and today we have another great show. Today's show, we're going to have film writer Miss Shannan E. Johnson going to come on to the show and tell us a little bit about the film called Truffle Sauce. Without further ado, please help me welcome Miss Shannan E. Johnson to the Not So Christian in Me show. Hey!
Hello!
How are you?
I'm doing all right. How are you?
I'm doing pretty good. I love your shirt, by the way.
Thank you. I have these if you're interested in them.
Okay. I'm going to get with you on that one then. Yes. Well, let's go ahead and get started. Tell our viewers and listeners a little bit about yourself and your journey through story writing.
Yeah. So I am originally from Houston. I now live in Los Angeles, California. Okay. And as most artists, I kind of came out of the womb, being a writer, right? Okay. Kind of knowing that's what I wanted to do, being someone who carried a book around everywhere I went and being transforming into those stories in my head and then starting to figure out how to write them down on the page. I ended up going to film school for graduate school at Florida State University. And that's where I was able to study screenwriting. But funny enough, when I came out of film school, I didn't go into writing. Instead, I went the corporate route because a lot of people think that the writers are the people who have creative control. But the people who have creative control are the executives, the ones who are at the studios and at the networks, right? So I decided to go that route because I wanted to see, the bigger picture and see how it all, how it all works. And so I was able to work with people from pitch to production at the Sci-Fi Channel, where I worked on Being Human, Haven, Alphas, Warehouse 13. I was there for the last season of Battlestar Galactica. So I really got to see how the TV industry worked. But then later on, I ended up starting my own company called Professional Pen. I'm the first Black-owned script consultancy in the entertainment industry.
Okay.
And there, I help people to develop ideas to pitch. So at the Sci-Fi Channel, I went from pitch to production. At the Professional Pen, I go from idea to pitch. And so there, I'm helping people to develop their screenplay. So I'm getting to write more often. And every now and again, I get to write my own stuff. And so in 2019, I wrote this short film, Truffle Sauce. And I hadn't planned on doing anything with it. As a writer, our samples are our scripts, right? So I'm able to use it to show people what my voice looks like on the page, what kind of stories I like to tell. But something just kept tapping me saying, you need to make this one. And so this particular film is about a young girl named Tweet who is trying to graduate from community college. But in order to do that, she has to pay one more bill before they'll let her walk across the stage. We all know about that, right? You got to fulfill the financial, right, before they'll let you walk. And so she is selling truffle sauce in order to do that. She's being a sample lady at a grocery store. And during this time that we're watching her sell this truffle sauce, we're noticing that she's disconnected. We're noticing that she's easily triggered. And the simple version is, well, Black women are angry. Right? The simple version is, well, we had RBF. The more complex version is we're presenting anger, but on the inside, maybe she's feeling unsafe. Maybe she's feeling unheard. And she doesn't know how to verbalize those things when she's in conversation with people. So her way of keeping herself safe is to keep you away.
Just at a distance,
At a distance, right? And so by the end of the film, we get to learn her trauma, which is in being sex trafficked. And so we learn that she's on the other side of it, trying to reacclimate into life, but her PTSD won't let her be great.
It's kicking in, yeah.
Oh,
wow. So what inspired you to even write this type of film?
Yeah, so funny enough, I was a performing artist for a little bit. I guess it wasn't a little bit. For about 8 years, I was a performing artist.
Okay.
And when you're a performing artist, it's gig life, right? You have one
Mhm.
contract that lasts a month, and then you're right back in out there trying to figure out what's going to be
What's
next, right?
next?
And
Yeah.
so you have to take odd jobs. You can't take a full-time job because then you can't be available when it's time for you to go do, the gig. So I was taking odd jobs here and there, and I took a job as a sample lady, and I was sampling truffle sauce. And I didn't know what it was. I had never
Yeah.
before. I was like, what is this? But anyway, I didn't necessarily have a good experience, in that moment while I was trying to sell the truffle sauce. And I was like, I'd never do this again. But then I asked myself, as a writer, again, I write from a place of trauma for people of color and what it looks like when it's unhealed, how it presents itself. So I said, okay, Shannon, who has to sell truffle sauce? Whose life depends on selling this truffle sauce, and what's her story? And so that's how I got here. And it wasn't until I started researching, like I understood that human trafficking was big in border states, right? So Texas, California, Florida were all along the border, right? So I understood human trafficking was big there.
Yes.
I did not know until I started researching that Houston was at the top of the list.
Oh, wow. I didn't know that either.
Yeah.
Wow, that's huge.
Yeah. So for us to be, Houston-based creatives, my director has a Houston-based production company. All of our crew was Houston-based, and all of our cast was Texas-based.
Oh, good.
We really wanted to make this like a homegrown thing. Because this was middle of pandemic. This was after the freeze. Artists were looking to get back out there to tell their craft. They were looking to get back out there to be able to make some money doing their craft. So it was just really important for us to do this in Houston.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Why is it so important to make people aware of human trafficking?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing is because when we think about it, we think it's so much bigger and beyond us.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like we're disconnected from it because we see it in movies like Taken, right? And it's like so sensationalized, but it's so much more nuanced than that. It could be happening right around you and you would never know.
Even know. Yeah.
Right? And because Houston is one of the hubs, that means someone could be in the middle of coercing you and you don't know. You know what I mean?
Goodness.
Yeah. So it's really just about making people aware. We're already, we already teach women to be safe, but human trafficking does not discriminate.
No, they don't.
There are women, men, children, people of all sexual orientations. It does not discriminate. So we want to make sure that people know about it, but we also want to present it through art, right? Yeah. Because the film is about a person. Human trafficking is the subject matter, but it's about a person and how she's affected by how she interacts with people, right? Gotcha. So at the end of the day, it's about people giving grace to others because you never know what they're going through.
That's so true. You never know. You never know. I love the whole concept on how you put all this together and how important it is to put that out there. Now, how long do you think human trafficking has been around?
In my opinion, probably since the beginning of time.
Yeah.
Because it's about power and control. You know what I mean? The sex part of it is here.
Yeah.
It's the power and control
part.
You know what I mean? And who knows why people need that kind of power and control? Who knows? But I think, from the beginning of time when people were able to realize that they could have more, don't have what they need. And again, hurt people, right? So it's still from a place of, well, what happened to them to put them in a position to think that they need to get power in this way?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I don't feel like it's new. I just feel like, social media has really helped to get the word out about all kinds of things.
Right.
You know what I mean? And art is going to be that thing that gets us to the next level so that we can really realize, this is not it's not like the mob, like we look at it like it's some big, huge crime syndicate that we could never touch. And it's like, no, it's happening right here in our backyards. It's something that is affecting us whether we know it or not.
Yeah. Do you ever think it's going to stop, like, or try to, the numbers will go down?
I don't know. I mean, if I can be honest, it's a personal problem for the person who needs to have power in that way. Yeah. And if that person doesn't get the help that they need, they will continue to hurt people.
Yeah.
And the same thing is true for the people who are succumbed to this. Something is happening inside of them that tells them, I don't deserve control over my own life. I don't have a purpose in my life. So maybe this is my purpose, right? So it's all people work. It's all mental health work. It's all self-esteem work. It's all
Right.
that. And so because we can't go into each person's house and
Mhm.
teach them how to love themselves and all these things, you know what I'm saying? Then you just never know where it's going to send people. Some people go to crime. Some people commit crimes against themselves. And some people, you know, decide to hurt other people. So it's really hard to know where it's going to go. But hopefully, if people know more about the signs, you know
Mhm.
what I'm saying? And hopefully, if people also learn that if you see something, say
Say
something,
something.
right?
Yes.
Then
Yes.
maybe we can at least disrupt it early on, or be the force that can pull someone out of it because they never would have pull themselves out, you know.
That's so true. That's so true. And a lot of times it has to do with money. They just
Mhm.
they end the business because of money. They try to take care of their families,
That's right, exactly. They're just trying to live.
trying to live,
That they
which is
know how.
sad, you know,
Mhm.
that they have to go that route, but it's like
Yeah.
that. So tell us about the screening. How can we come? How can we go out to see the movie?
Yes, so we are doing a Houston tour right now. So we have
Okay.
7 screenings that are happening around the city of Houston with
Okay.
our human trafficking partners, A Second Cup, United Against Human Trafficking, 1211 Partners, The Landing, and Faith Collaborative. And they are going
Okay.
to be there to make sure that people can have those resources, right? So we as
Oh,
the artists
good. Good.
bring you in to get you informed, but then they are going to be the people who can step in and say, this is what we have to look out for. And also, if you want to get be a part of the cause, you can sign up, you know, to work with them.
Okay.
So if you guys are interested in seeing a screening, then send an email to info@trufflesaucefilm.com, and we'll send you all the information about the dates, locations, and times, and then send you an RSVP link. We would love for you guys to see it.
Oh, cool. Cool. Okay. So how else can we find you on social media? What other ways we can support
Yes. So if you're looking for me, it's my name, Shannan E. Johnson, on Instagram @Shannan E. Johnson. And also, please follow our film page @Truffle Sauce Film. And if you want to know more information about the film, you can head over to our website, trufflesaucefilm.com. So everything's Truffle Sauce Film.
you? Okay, cool. And then also on Instagram too, Truffle
Yes.
Sauce. Okay, good, good. Well, we definitely look forward and coming out to support you. And what's next for you? And what's the next tour? Where's the
Yeah.
next tour going to be at?
So we're hoping to go to Los Angeles next because, like I said,
Hmm.
those border states, right?
Yes,
And
yes.
because I live in Los Angeles, and obviously the film industry is in Los Angeles, we really want to get this film out there so that we can spread awareness. And then from there, we're going to go into the film festival so that we can reach even more eyes. You know, maybe someone will want to make something bigger from this project, or, you know, sign myself or my director, Isaac Yeoman, onto doing other projects. So we're just excited about the ability to do that and to bring more jobs to Houston, because this can be a filmmaking industry as well, right? We can get
Absolutely.
here.
We have the talent here.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
have talent down here. So that's another reason why it was important to us to do all of our casting here, you know, so that people can know, like, you don't necessarily have to be in Los Angeles or Atlanta or New York to be involved in your craft.
Absolutely. So what advice could you give other filmmakers who are trying to go on the same route as you?
Yeah, practice, practice, practice. If you are a director, you should be directing things. If you're a writer, you should be writing things. And then you want to find a team. Like, a lot of people don't realize how collaborative of an effort filmmaking is, right? As a writer, you can be in your house and it's solo dolo, just you and your computer.
Yeah.
But in order for it to make it to the screen, you got to get it past there, right? You have to start connecting with the right kind of people. So there's a budding film industry down here in Houston. There are Facebook groups. There's stuff all over Instagram. Sign up to see if you can be a production assistant, just so you can be around and start to learn. You know what I mean? Because it's an entrepreneurial industry, right? Like, the only way that you're going to get it done is to get it done. It's a lot of trial and error. So just get out there and start working. You're going to learn on your way up.
Right, absolutely. Can you give us some resources for people that may know someone that may be dealing with sex trafficking trauma, or someone that may feel like they may be in a situation that they need help to get out? Can you share some of those resources?
Yes, so definitely look into our human trafficking partners. Each of them is working in this area. So there is a national human trafficking hotline that you can call if you feel like you've seen something. And then if you're looking for something locally, for someone to help you to come out of that situation, definitely look into those partners. So those partners, again, are A Second Cup, United Against Human Trafficking, The Landing, 1211 Partners, and Faith Collaborative. And
Okay.
all of these organizations have Black women at the helm, you know, so definitely reach out to them and get as many resources as you can.
Thank you so much. This has been very informative and very helpful and inspiring at the same time.
Thank
you so much for your time. And I wish you the best of luck in the future. And may God continue to bless you and use you in a mighty way with your gift.
Thank
you have
so
all
much.
of our support here at the Not So Christian Me Show. And I want to thank all my viewers for tuning in. If you guys are interested in being a guest on the Not So Christian Me Show, please reach out to us on Instagram at the Not So Christian Me Show and Facebook at the Not So Christian Me Show. Feel free to sow a seed through our Cash App, $TNSCIM. Until next time, remember that no matter what you guys are going through, God will always see you through. Stay blessed up. Bye.
Bye.